My name is David Madison, the 24th of May 2020. I'm an ex-clergy atheist, and I have collected more than 380 book titles into what I call the Cure for Christianity library, in homage to Mark Twain's famous comment that the best cure for Christianity is reading the Bible. Now there are a lot more books to help with that. These books explain in detail the falsification of theism, Christianity especially. Please tell your Christian friends they have a lot of homework to do. They haven't noticed. Just type Cure for Christianity Library into Google. These authors have stated the blunt truth, hence this series of videos, Cure for Christianity Knockout Quotes. This is quote number 26. The Christian Delusion, Why Faith Fails, is one of 5 anthologies edited by John Loftus. I heartily recommend all of them. Just go to Loftus's author page on Amazon to see them all. In one essay in this book, scholar Hector Avalos wrote this, quote, "The Bible is the product of cultures whose modes of life and thought were very different from ours. In some cases, the Bible's philosophy is so barbaric and violent that it defies explaining why anyone would consider it sacred at all," unquote. What we're up against, of course, is 2,000 years of relentless Bible promotion by religious bureaucracies. The Bible has pride of place on church altars. You're supposed to put your hand on it when you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but. Presidents put their hand on it when they are inaugurated. The Gideons have given away more than 1 billion copies. The hype has been massive. But just as massive, just as relentless, is the campaign of preachers and priests, ministers and theologians to explain away the really horrible things in the Bible, what Avalos calls the barbaric and violent. Think of the story of Noah. Animals entering the ark, of course, and rainbows. It's good for children's stories, right? But it's a story of genocide. God drowns everyone on earth, except Noah and his family. That's super violent. Read the Old Testament laws. Stoning is a punishment for a rebellious son, for breaking the Sabbath, for 2 men having sex. Most people today would just say no to these ideas because those ancient modes of life and thought are so very different from our own. It's chilling to read that Yahweh ordered the slaughter of various tribes in the Holy Land to make room for the Israelites. Holy Land itself is a dangerous idea that we owe to the Bible. So I challenge you to get a big pad of paper or use an Excel table. Make your lists of the barbaric and violent Bible texts that don't belong in a sacred book. Do this for the New Testament as well as for the Old. The Apostle Paul gives a long list in Romans 1 of sinners who deserve to die. Paul was an enthusiast for revenge theology. He was sure that wrath was God's default emotion. Of course, Jesus is hyped as the Prince of Peace, but he promised that when he came on the clouds of heaven to initiate the kingdom of God, there would be more suffering than at the time of Noah. He promised, too, that the towns who rejected his message would be destroyed. That's revenge theology, too. Jesus spoke of eternal fire as punishment. The idea of hell had crept into Judaism from other religions, and Jesus fell for it. We hear the good stuff in the Bible from preachers all the time. But is their book all that holy, all that sacred? Hector Avalos calls it correctly. In many cases, the Bible's philosophy is so barbaric, so violent, that it defies explaining why anyone would consider it sacred at all.